The mysteries of Skinwalker Ranch. Many people think this is one of the most paranormal places on the planet, while others just brush it off as fictional. However, there's no doubt, and 100% true, is the fact that the ranch has undergone some scientific testing. You see, when Terry Sherman purchases the property for him and his family, strange events start happening. It led Terry to sell the property to a billionaire. This billionaire hires a crew of scientists to debunk Terry's claims. He really wanted to, if it was really paranormal activity. So, a decade-long study involving well-educated doctors and scientists to investigate the claims around the clock led to even more shocking mysteries that will come out. This is the infamous Skinwalker Ranch case. Before jumping into this wild story, consider subscribing to the channel and be the first to receive weekly uploads of dark and odd stories like this one. Okay, let's jump into it. The Skinwalker Ranch has a rich history. In the late 1980s, the land was cursed by the Navajo tribe when they were forced off of their land by another tribe, known as the Skinwalker Curse. It involves witches transforming into predatory animals to terrorize everyone who ventures onto the 500 square foot land located northeast of Utah. Fast forward to 1994, when Terry Sherman purchased the land for a really good price. They wanted to have a relaxed existence on the ranch, but strange things start happening. Terry and Gwen Sherman arrive at the new property. The first thing they notice, they see these huge locks on every door, every window, and a few cabinets. And then they also see large dog chains securing the front and back of the property entrances. Now, Terry, he's excited, so he overlooks these locks and thinks, this is our new home, our new beginning, and he's just in awe. He can't wait to start a new life here. Gwen, his wife, cautiously, she's like really unsettled by all these locks on the doors. It's like, what was happening? This was a great deal price-wise, so she decides to stop overthinking it. Now, on move-in day, Terry and his dad, who's helping him move in, spot this massive wolf in the distance. The family watches the wolf, and it was seemingly calm. It wasn't aggressive or anything like that. The wolf comes up to Terry's dad and is about the same height, 6 feet tall, so very large. Now, Terry's dad actually pets the wolf. It's a calm situation. But shortly afterwards, the wolf suddenly attacks a calf. So Terry gets very nervous. He begins to poke at it, the wolf, to get it away from the livestock, and no luck. So he gets his revolver, and despite the wolf being shot multiple times, there's no blood. The wolf just retreats back into the woods. So Terry and his son, they actually follow the palm tracks back into the woods. So they're looking around, they're following it, it's normal, okay, there's a trail here, and then all of a sudden, the tracks just vanish. There's no more tracks. It's like the wolf vanished in thin air or something. This was very unusual. Gwen, Terry's wife, was like, what was that thing? It just vanished. This whole event freaked out Gwen. She's like, what's going on here? So eventually Gwen, she starts noticing like dishes and some food mysteriously moving around the house in different places that she knows she didn't put them in. And she thinks maybe like something's wrong with her, like she's paranoid, overthinking things and whatever. But Terry confirms her suspicions when he can't find his missing fence digging tool. Days later, very high up in the tree, they find it. And what's more is the tool weighs 70 pounds. So no one can easily just throw it up into the trees. In addition, lights appear in the sky, initially mistaken for headlights, but then they float around and vanish silently. So just a lot of creepy things are happening in this short amount of time. A cow goes missing. Terry follows the track into the forest once again, and the tracks abruptly stop. Terry's obviously frustrated. He's like, how are these tracks just vanishing? How are they just ending? Something's strange and wrong here, is what he's thinking. And so overall, the family's anxiety about this place is increasing. More and more animals are vanishing, and now Terry starts patrolling the property at night. And one night, he sees this small jet-like object hovering about 20 feet above the ground, scanning the area with multiple colored lights. It's like almost something you would see on Star Trek or something. When Terry makes a noise, the lights turn off on this object and it flies away. The next morning, he wakes up to find these large holes and these crop circles on their property. And what made this more odd was the fact that in their purchasing contract, they had to get permission to dig up anything on the property. It was part of the deal. Terry is thinking like, this can't be real. Like, what am I seeing with these holes? Am I going crazy? Like, this is just bizarre. Some cows went missing, some mutilated, while other livestock reappeared with surgical incisions and missing body parts. At this point, Terry's freaking out. He's like, he's starting to lose it. He's losing sleep along with his family, which is already losing sleep. What's more is they eventually start seeing these emotionless humanoid figures begin appearing just around the property, peering into the windows and speaking in unknown languages. These humanoid faces had no expressions. They were just blank. This would eventually explain why, when they first moved into the property, that they seen all these door locks all over the walls, the cabinets, the windows, and these 2 guard dog chains. Sadly, as time passed, Terry's children start struggling in school. His wife actually loses her job because she can't sleep. His daughter's not doing well in school, mainly because she thinks she's always being watched by these creatures. Now his wife's just completely exhausted and she wants to get out of there. Thinks this whole situation's unbearable. And in the summer of 1995, Terry observes an orange orb on the horizon through his rifle scope. It resembles a daylight portal type of object from which dark figures emerge and move into the trees. Strange smaller aircrafts also appear before the portal closes. Terry said it's like, a different planet inside this portal, and he wants answers. It's beyond anything he's ever seen. The appearance of these orbs induced extreme anxiety within Terry. One night, Terry's dogs chase after this blue orb into the woods. The next morning, Terry wakes up and he's like, where are my dogs? I can't find my dogs anywhere. I can't find them anywhere. And he's looking around and he's searching. So he eventually finds what appears to be their ashes found in a small burnt out circle. Okay, at this point, Terry's like, I'm leaving. We're leaving. He tells his family to pack up. This place is too dangerous. Now, Terry lists the property with full transparency about the ranch's paranormal activity, which would usually scare off some buyers until you meet billionaire Robert Bigelow. And before we go into what happens next, I want to thank the sponsors of this video, GlowNeo.com. GlowNeo offers custom neon signs, and with my discount code, you can receive 20% off. It's DUFF20. DUFF20. Here's a quick look at their website. You can browse hundreds of their neon signs here. Or you can create your own neon sign by simply typing like this. Also, if you're a business or have an event logo, you can just submit the image on the custom neon page and they'll match the logo with a neon sign. Save 20% off, discount code DUFF20, DUFF20. Okay, let's get back into the story. Now, Terry decides to sell the place and he goes public with his story to local newspapers. He ends up selling the ranch at a loss to billionaire Robert Bigelow. Now, Robert Bigelow is known for his interest in paranormal research and buys the property and deploys his team, the National Institute for Discovery Science, because Robert Bigelow really wants to, get to the bottom of this. What's going on there? So Terry stays on as a temporary ranch manager of sorts. In the first year, the researchers find no major activity, but confirms the family's experience was probably real. One day, Terry discovers a calf surgically dissected with no blood or any signs of struggle. It was like a surgical veterinarian came in and did the job. Not long after which, a few of the researchers then finds a large wolf-like humanoid in the tree. This shocks the researchers, and actually Terry starts shooting at it, but it just vanishes. So there was definitely something strange going on there. Another bizarre event happens when 4 prize bulls disappear from a locked pen. Terry finds them a little bit later in a unused trailer. Now this trailer's entrance was still wired shut. The researchers find that the pins that's wired together is magnetized as well. The researchers are kind of confused and they're like, the physical evidence is here, but we can't really explain it. The researchers also experience a rotting smell associated with like a wolf-like creature, and notices that their compasses are all pointing away from north. Two researchers even witness an orange orb forming near the ranch. A black humanoid creature emerges and runs past them. So fast they didn't even have time to get evidence of it, but they did witness it. Now at this point the researchers are pretty horrified, and this is beyond the understanding of what they're used to. It's like they're always one step behind this cursed ranch. By 1998, the activity decreases, and the research ends in 2004. Despite footage of lights and mutilated animals, the researchers can't really provide conclusive proof that anything's going on. They actually have more questions than they do answers. To this day, Skinwalker Ranch remains one of the most intriguing examples of paranormal activity. What do you think? Is this fact? Is it fiction? Is it somewhere in between? Let me know in the comments below. Also, feel free to follow me on my social media accounts and subscribe to the channel. With my love, thank you.